Hello and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. It is Sunday again already. I feel like I say that every week, but it always creeps up on me. I have an iced coffee today. I'm pretty sure it's caramel in this glass that I got from B&M yesterday, which I'm absolutely obsessed with, which has chili peppers all around it. And yes, we bought some iced coffee syrup yesterday. Put that there. So let's get into the two books I'll be starting the week with. As always, a Kindle book and a physical book. So the Kindle book is one that I have already started, and that is I Know a Place by Cassidy. I've read a handful of the short stories in this already so far, and I am about halfway through. I think I'm just over halfway through, and what I'm doing is I'm ranking, because I don't read a lot of short stories and not short story collections. So what I'm doing is I'm ranking each short story individually, and then I will go through and then rank it overall. There's a bit of a mixed bag in here, so some of them I've enjoyed, some of them I have not enjoyed as much. So I will obviously give more of a review on the ones that I'm reading as they come through, and then once I've finished it I will go through and explain all of the ones that I've read and what I thought of them. I just really wanted some short stories because I've not been enjoying a lot of the books I've been reading recently on my Kindle, and I was worried I was going to get into a reading slump, so I thought short stories would be a good way to hopefully prevent that from happening. And this is the first Nat Cassidy that I've ever read, and as I said, a bit of a mixed bag, but overall I'm enjoying it. I'll see how it goes. The physical book that I will be reading this week is one that I'm a little bit intimidated by and a little bit scared, but also I'm really looking forward to reading. And I will also be potentially doing a spoilery vlog on this series, hopefully. So I will be doing an in-depth video on this as well, and that is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. So yes, this is a series that I know a lot of people really love, and so I'm a bit scared to read it just in case. Firstly, I don't love it as much as others because I'm hoping to absolutely love it, but also I've heard that it's quite emotional. There's quite a lot that happens, and the books get bigger and bigger as we go along. So yes, I'm looking forward to getting into this. I will, as I said, hopefully be doing a more in-depth video on this, and I'm going to be hopefully tabbing and just making note of some things when I start reading it. I haven't actually started it yet, so we'll see when I get into it. I don't have any plans today, so Dave is going to look at some cars a little bit later, so he will be out doing that. I'm not sure if my nan is coming over. She might be, she might not be. We'll see. So there's that. But yes, I think I am just going to sit and read and chill. The weather has definitely cooled down quite a bit. It was, I'm not sure if it's raining still, but it was raining earlier, but it's that sort of like really fine misty rain, but it has definitely cooled down quite a lot, which is great. So I think I'm just gonna have a nice chilled day. I finished I Know a Place by Nat Cassidy pretty much just now, and I have gone through my ratings. I'm giving it 3 stars. So this one is a little bit of a strange one, obviously, because it is a collection of short stories, and I have really varied ratings on these. So just going to quickly check. There's 12 stories in this, and I think most of them I gave sort of 4 stars, a couple of 3 stars, and I did give a couple of 2 stars as well, a few 2 stars as well. So I'm not going to go into absolutely every single story, but I thought I would tell you the name of the short story and then what I rated it, just because if I go through each one individually I think would be forever. But on a whole, I gave I'm giving it 3 stars. I enjoyed it. There were some really good stories. There were some that I didn't enjoy as much, but mostly I enjoyed them, and I think a 3-star is a positive rating. But it is just difficult, as I said, because each story was slightly different. So Rest Stop, I gave 4 stars. I really enjoyed that. That was the first one. It creeped me out. That's all you need to know. Meet Cute, I gave 2 stars. Wasn't a big fan. Generation, I gave 3 stars. Nice, I gave 3 stars. The Art of What You Want, I gave 3 stars. Laugh Lines, I gave that 4 stars. Run for Your Life, I gave 4 stars. Jubilee Juncture, I gave 4 stars. Come, I gave 3 stars. Into the Life of Things, I gave 4 stars. Meet Cute number 2, I gave 2 stars as well. And A Fruiting Body, I gave 2 stars. That one was a little bit of a strange one because it is noted in that it ideally is designed to be read out loud with a group of people. And I wasn't doing that because I'm just sat here on my own. So that one I did give 2 stars because I still enjoyed it, but I think a lot of the atmosphere, a lot of the creepiness of that would have come from reading that out loud as it is intended. So it's a difficult one to necessarily rate, but I just rated it anyway, what I felt. So yeah, I would definitely be interested in reading more Nat Cassidy in the future. I'm not sure if he just writes short stories or if he does have any novels, so I will definitely check that out and see what he has to offer. I have made a start on Assassin's Apprentice, but I have only read 1 chapter so far and I'm really enjoying it. I think the writing style is really good. It feels really cozy and really comforting, which has been really fun. I will be getting more into this for the rest of the day. Because I finished I Know a Place, I thought it's probably a good time to pick another Kindle book, and my plan is to finally use the spinner wheel and see what we get. I am a bit nervous about this actually. So I've got my iPad because I use my camera, my phone to record. So here is the ridiculous spin a wheel, and yeah, I'm just going to press it. I'm not sure if it makes noise. I think I might turn it off. Can't even read that. Oh, Nocticadia. I wasn't expecting that to come up, so I can't. Is Nocticadia? I'm gonna get it up on my Kindle. I don't think that's part of a series. I think it, if I'm remembering correctly, Nocticadia is by, bear with me, by Kerri Lake. So I am just opening it up now. Okay, that's not what I clicked on. For some reason it clicked on Daybreak and I didn't click that. So it's just loading everything because it's saying that I'm reading it currently. So I will read the synopsis. I feel like this has been everywhere. A dark atmospheric tale of deadly secrets and forbidden love. Mortu, I don't know. Mortu, oh, I'm not even going to say that. The dead teach the living. After watching my mother succumb to the mysterious illness, I promised myself 2 things. I'd find the cure for what ravaged her and leave the God-forsaken city where she abandoned me. 4 years later, I received an acceptance letter from Nocticadia University, one of the oldest, most prestigious schools in the country. Nestled on a secluded island off the coast of Maine, it's rumoured to be haunted by the souls of the mental patients exiled there centuries before. Those whose bones were said to make up the island's white sandy shores, and restless ghosts aren't even its most daunting peculiarity. Deverick Bramwell, known on campus as Dr. Death, is a brilliant pathologist in charge of the Midnight Lab. He's also my devastatingly handsome professor who seems to loathe tenacious first years like me. except his dark, enigmatic gaze tells me all the ways he'd devour me if given the chance, and his stolen kiss burns my lips with forbidden jealousy. I crave his authority, he aches for redemption, together we're toxic, delicious fodder for the prying eyes, hell-bent on exhuming the rotten skeletons of our past. For the dead have much to teach, and it's only a matter of time before Nocticadia's most depraved secret is resurrected. And it says it's a standalone dark academia gothic romance. This sounds amazing. I feel like I have seen this everywhere. The cover's quite dark, so I'm not. Yeah, it's not too bad. I have seen a lot of people reading this. I do feel like this has been everywhere, and I think it was a TikTok maybe that I saw, and they said, "Oh yeah, it's like a professor-student relationship," and I'm like, sign me up. I just, when it's, because it's university, so they're adults, but it is still a little bit taboo. I really like that. I think it's a really interesting dynamic. So I am looking forward to getting into this. Honestly, I'm hoping that it'll be good, but this is something that I wasn't expecting the wheel to give me. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to making a start on this. I haven't actually done much reading since I finished I Know a Place. I did make a start on Assassin's Apprentice, but I have only read 2 chapters, so I'm on page 40. So it is really just setting everything up, introducing the main character Fitz, and obviously explaining that he is the bastard son of a king in waiting, and his grandfather on his mother's side has sent him back to be with his father, but his father has now abdicated the throne, so no one really knows what to do with him. So that is pretty much it for this at the moment. And then I obviously have picked the Kindle book that I will be reading, which is Nocticadia, but I haven't actually started this. So we ended up going and looking at a car and things like that, and it's just been busy doing other things. So it is 9:20, so I actually think I'm going to get into bed soon and make a start on Nocticadia, just because I haven't read anything on my Kindle. Yes, I did. I've read I Know a Place. Just because I really want to focus when I'm reading this, and I think, yeah, the next chapter's quite long, so I just thought I will sit down for the day and pick up Nocticadia and see how that goes. But I am off tomorrow, so I'm not at work, so I'm hoping that I will get a big chunk of reading done, so we shall see what happens. This morning with my coffee, because I woke up and made coffee, got back into bed, I read more of Nocticadia. So I did read some of this last night. I read, I think it was the prologue or the introduction part, and then I read 2 chapters last night, and I've read a third chapter this morning, and I am on page 41, 6% of the way through. So it's still very much setting everything up, and so far there's just the main character Lila, who was looking after her sick mother and her younger sister, and unfortunately her mother dies, and she sees this happen, but it appears that these weird like worm things, like parasites, like come out of her mother's mouth, and she believes that's the reason that her mother passed away. She's being told that that's not true, and her mother committed suicide. So there's a little bit of a, like, I obviously don't know what to make of it so far. I don't know what's the truth and what's not, and how that's all working. But her younger sister didn't take this very well and has gone to a school that specialises in mental health, and it's about 5 years later, and Lila is still struggling and singing things and thinking that she's seeing her mum when she's at her job and things like that. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's happened so far. I'm not too far into it, it's still setting everything up, but I'm looking forward to getting into it some more and seeing where the rest of it will go. I then also did read another chapter of Assassin's Apprentice last night. So I'm now on page 60, chapter 4 of this as well, and not too much has actually happened in this either. So Fitz has been told by his grandfather, he's on his father's side, that he is to start training and being educated, and that's all that's really happened so far. It started, and he's now got a room rather than living in the stable, and I think he's finding it a little bit difficult to actually adjust to that. But that's all that's happened so far. I have also been tabbing this. I haven't done anything particularly intelligent with the tabbing. I've just trying to mark things that I think will be relevant at some point, just some background information, and then some things that are related to Fitz, just that I can refer back to if I need to. But I'm really enjoying this so far. The writing style is really good. I can feel that it will be quite a slow book, which a lot of people have said, but that is not a bad thing. I think it'll be really good. I will probably make this most of the priority today, just to read most of this because I'm not working today, so that will probably be it. But yeah, I think I'm going to paint my nails today because I haven't done that in a while and I've been trying to grow them out a bit, so I'm going to do that. So I'll probably watch some YouTube while I do that, and then once I'm done I can get back into doing some reading. So it is later in the day. Move this down, and I've got half of a nice coffee, and I have been reading. I also had to film a video, so I've done that, but I have pretty much just been reading Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I'm now on page 126. I'm 8 pages. So just to preface this part of the video, I filmed an update yesterday in the afternoon and spoke briefly about what I was reading and my progress. Unfortunately, the mic that I was using, the battery had died and I didn't realise. So I'm talking and there's no sound. Well, it literally cuts off. It says, I've been reading Assassin's Apprentice, and then it literally just is no sound. So instead of trying to worry about that, because there's nothing I can do about it, there's no sound at all, I'm just going to write that part of it off, do a really quick update here, and just continue on. The woes of having to edit, and technology failed me. So I'm not even sure the last time I updated before that, so this isn't great, but I am making progress on Assassin's Apprentice. I'm on page 126 and I'm really enjoying it so far. I have been tabbing it because I am also doing a separate video on it, and I am really loving the writing style. I think it's such a lovely writing style. It feels really cozy and really relaxing to read. I like that there's not major conflict at the moment. We are just following Fitz through his life and just what he is doing day to day. So it started obviously when he was 6 years old. We've now got to the point where I think he is 13 years old. So it doesn't give you specifically it doesn't really show you any indication of how much time is passing, but it's clear that time is passing, so it's good that we've got that indication that he is 13. Also, he is now having to travel to another part of this world. He's going with technically his uncle, and yeah, I'm interested to see how that will unfold further and what will happen when he does that. But yes, at the moment it's mostly just his training, his learning, what he's up to. So I'm not sure if much of it will pick up from here, but I have heard a lot of people say that is pretty much what happens. It's slow, but it's not boring, and that is the main point for me. So yes, I did did make some progress yesterday. I hadn't read any more since I actually did that update, because we ended up going out and picking up a car, and then we were busy, so I haven't actually read any more, and I haven't read any more of this yet today. I have made a little progress on Nocticadia, so I am now on page 50, chapter 5, 8% of the way through. So the only update on this really is that she has been offered a place at this Nocticadia, I think it's called, university, which is a really prestigious university, and it's because of all this weird parasite things that she was seeing and that her mom potentially died of. So she has been offered it, but she's unsure if she's going to take it, doesn't really know what to do. But that's it, not a whole bunch of progress on it. I haven't actually read anything so far today, but I am now on my lunch break, so I plan to chill out and read for at least a little while, and hopefully today I will make sure that my microphone is actually recording, and I will check before I just leave it. Yeah, so I literally looked at the footage this morning and there's just no sound, like it literally just cuts off, and I didn't check it yesterday, which I should have done, and then I could have re-recorded it. But I'm still learning these things and still making mistakes, so that's it. There's nothing else that I can do about it, unfortunately, and we will just move on from here. It is much later in the day. It is basically 11 o'clock. I finished work for the day and we ended up popping out to see my mom. We did some shopping and then we went to see my nan, so we didn't get back till quite late, and I just hadn't had time to do any filming, so it is what it is. I have made very small amount of progress on Nocticadia, so I am now 68% of the way through, and the main character Lila has just agreed that she will be heading to the school. So she was given a scholarship to Nocticadia and she has just managed to make it work and will be attending, which we knew was going to happen anyway because it is set at the school, but she is getting herself ready to head there. So I think I've only read 3 chapters-ish since I last checked in, but we have had a new perspective and I can't remember the person's name, but it is a male main character. But I thought that I could check it by the chapter headings, but it's just chapter numbers and then the name for the person, like the perspective, is underneath, so I can't do that without going back, so I'm not going to do that. But nothing really has happened. There just seems to be some weird society thing and somebody who was stealing, so not too much. There's just been a little bit of intrigue introducing them, so I'm sure that we will get more into that once Lila gets to Nocticadia and we find out who this person is. So yeah, I am enjoying it overall, but I'm still not fully into it yet, so it's difficult to say properly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm going to try and read a little bit more in bed before I sleep tonight. And then just really quickly, I have read a little bit more of Assassin's Apprentice. I've read 1 chapter, so now on chapter 9, page 140. Now I am still really enjoying this, of course. I see 1 more chapter, so not a whole bunch read, but we've just had a busy couple of days, so I'm hoping that the routine will return back to normal, which means I can spend more of my evening reading, and I'm really wanting to get stuck into this and get a good chunk of it read because I am having a really great time with it. It's really good, and yeah, I can see why people like Robin Hobb and her writing, and Fitz is kind of growing on me. Said we're doing life with Fitz, we are just experiencing life with him, so I'm just interested to see what is going to happen, what is going to unfold, because there's not much conflict at the moment, but I'm sure that will not stay this way. But yes, that is it. I am hoping, as I said, that the next few days things are just going to be much better, just back to normal a little bit more, so that I can just spend more time reading. I usually do. Yeah. I have made a small amount of progress on Nocticadia. I think I only read another chapter, so I was partway through a chapter when I updated last night, but I finished that chapter off last night and then I've read another chapter this morning. So I am now on page 82, 12% of the way through, and on chapter 9. We have had the second point of view again, which I think is Davrick, but I'll need to check because I keep getting confused. But it's basically a professor at Nocticadia, and he doesn't seem like a very nice person so far, so we will see how this pans out, but not too much to update on this really, and I haven't read any more of Assassin's Apprentice yet. I will say this week I am struggling a little bit. We've had a busy few days, and I think I've been busy with work for quite a while, and now things are slowing down. I think everything's just catching up to me. So I am not reading as much as I usually do. The heat also, I think, hasn't helped. So I'm trying not to force it, and I'm just reading when I can and when I feel up to it, and as much as I feel like is reasonable, because I really don't want to force it, get burnt out, or get myself into a reading slump. It's just really annoying because I am really enjoying Assassin's Apprentice. I am enjoying Nocticadia as well, but Assassin's Apprentice I'm enjoying a lot. But I don't want, when I'm not feeling 100%, I don't want to be reading it and then feeling negatively about it. So we don't have any plans at all today to go out in the evening, which we have done for the past few evenings in a row. So I'm hoping that tonight, after I finish work, I can just sit and read for a couple of hours and decompress like I usually do. So that is my plan. And then I'm hoping that will just rejig everything, because I'm just feeling really tired and just, yeah, not 100%. But I'm still reading, I'm still getting through. So yes, I will just see how it goes. I have made some more progress on Assassin's Apprentice. I am now on page 174, and it's quite difficult to really explain because not loads has happened really. So Fitz has gone travelling with technically his uncle, and there's just a lot of political things happening. So they're trying to get another part of the world, like another area, to sort of man the borders and things like that, and get soldiers there to protect and things like that. And there's just a lot of talk about how chivalry would have been better at it, and his uncle is not great. And yeah, Fitz is just kind of there. He was there to sort of babysit somebody else, and he's also helping with the animals because he seems to have an affinity towards animals. And yeah, I think I'm just under halfway through, and yes, it is slow, but it's not boring. I'm still really enjoying it, and I'm still just having a really great time. I feel like the writing is really, really good. It's really descriptive. Like, I can feel like when I'm reading it, I can see everything that's happening, see all these places, and really, really immersive. And so I'm enjoying that quite a lot. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more into it. This is pretty much all that I have been reading today. But as I did say this morning, I've not been feeling 100%, so I'm just taking it as easy as I can at the moment to just see how things go. I'm definitely feeling better today. I'm feeling more awake, more human. Yesterday just was not great. So I have made a little bit more progress on Assassin's Apprentice. I'm now on page 197, so I'm almost 200 pages in. I think this is nearly 400 pages, so I'm basically about halfway through now, and it's started to, I wouldn't say necessarily pick up, but things are starting to happen, and Fitz has met his dad's wife, Patience. So she has met Fitz, so she didn't meet Fitz previously, of course, because he is her husband's bastard son, so I can imagine that was not exactly a great situation. So they have now met kind of accidentally, and she is insisting that Fitz is trained and given the opportunity to potentially be given the title. The king seems a little bit apprehensive about this, so it's been agreed that he will train and then there will be a discussion afterwards. So he is now going to be trained properly, but he is still having his training with Chade, so things are potentially going to get much busier for Fitz. So we will see how he manages to cope with all of that. And yeah, still really enjoying it. I'm having a really good time reading it. It is taking me a little bit longer than I was expecting for it to be only a 400-page book, but I haven't actually been reading as much as I usually do. I have really taken a little bit of a step back, and also I'm finding that it's because I'm taking everything in, so I'm reading a little bit slower, and also because I am tabbing and I do have a few tabs in there, I feel like this is really slowing me down, but not in a bad way. It's just that I'm actually really trying to make sure I know everything that's going on and that I'm retaining the information. Not that I remember people's names, because I am getting a bit confused with those. But this is why I'm trying to take it a little bit slower, because there is so much happening and there's really sort of descriptive scenes and descriptive situations. I don't want to be missing anything that may be important later. But I can also feel that these books are ones that improve with rereads. You notice more each time you read them, so I think that will be also really interesting to do. Once I've read trilogy, I can maybe go back and read them all with the knowledge of the other books and see what more I can find. I finished work for the day, and my plan now is to sit and read more of Assassin's Apprentice. I'm now on page 210, chapter 14, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. There's some more characters being introduced and some more animal companions, so that's really great. I'm really looking forward to getting into this some more. Again, it's difficult because there's not any big massive storyline happening. There's nothing crazy going on. It's very simple. It is just, as I said probably a million times, following Fitz through his life, but he is now met with somebody else and having some more training happening, and he's got a pet dog, so that's come into it, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how that is going to evolve. But yes, there's no big sort of plot points, it's just seeing what's going on with his life, seeing what's happening, and there is a lot of political things happening in the background, and there is sort of like the whole situation with the fact that Fitz is bastard and should he be accepted as his heir and things like that. So there's a lot of these kind of things, and just how Fitz is feeling as a person, because he is so different to everybody else. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying it, so I can't wait to continue on. I think it might be a 5-star. I can't imagine it not being, so we shall see. But I haven't had many luck with 5 stars. They've only given a manga one book 5-star, and that, as I said, that was a manga, so it's a bit different. So if this becomes 5 stars, then I need the next book immediately, so I will be looking at that. So very nicely and very luckily, I got a gift voucher from work. I got a voucher for some work that I did, and they said you can pick what the voucher is for. So of course I picked Waterstones. So I'm thinking I might use that voucher to get the next 2 books in the series, which will then close out the trilogy. And I'm hoping that I can get them kind of soon, because I really desperately want to be able to pick up the next book in the series immediately after I finished this, which will probably throw my TBR completely out. But I feel like if I give this a 5-star, which right now it's 5 stars, so depending on how the rest of it goes, if I do, I feel like it's worth it, because I've been enjoying books, but I've not been loving books. So this is helping, and it's so strange because it's such a slow book, but I'm just loving the writing as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't made any more progress. Oh, it's not even in there. I thought it was there, but it's in the other room. Haven't made any more progress on Nocticadia yet, but I will probably read at least a chapter of that tonight, because I haven't read anything yet. And that is pretty much it. My plan is to just read for the rest of the evening. I have made some more progress on Assassin's Apprentice. I am now on page 245, so I think I've only got roughly 150 pages to go, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm also really scared. I am still really enjoying it. I don't think the story has picked up, but I'm definitely finding the second half quicker to read, but that's potentially just my circumstances, because I did have a very busy first half of the week and was just struggling a little bit in myself. So it was definitely nothing to do with the book, but I am just finding the second half is a lot quicker to read. So I am really enjoying it. I am a bit unsure, like I don't have any kind of inkling on where this could possibly go or what could possibly be coming next, but I am worried for a few characters and worried for a few things that I don't know. I know people say that this series and like the whole sort of realm of the Elderlings is quite an intense series and quite emotional. I don't know how emotional this first book gets, like especially towards the end. There've been a few parts of this that have already got me, and I'm very attached to Fitz. And although I know he is the main character and unlikely that something permanent will happen to him, doesn't mean that he can't suffer a lot, and that is already happening. So I'm just a little bit nervous about where that's going to go, but I'm still really enjoying it, and I think I need to pick up the next book immediately, but I don't even own it yet, so I need to get that. But absolutely loving it. I think it might be a 5-star. I can't imagine that the ending is going to lower it, so we shall see. But it is about 20 to 10, so I am going to get myself up to bed and read at least a chapter of Nocticadia so that I can have a bit of my Kindle read today. And that is pretty much all that I have to update. I did make some progress on Nocticadia last night. I am 99 pages in, so close to that 100-page mark and 15% of the way through. I think I only read a chapter last night, but I am slowly making progress. The chapter that I read was from the perspective of the male main character Devrick, and there has been some intriguing things happening, which I'm sure will be explained, and more about it will be unfolding as I continue to read. I definitely will be reading more of this, hopefully tonight and over the weekend, but the main thing that I have been reading, as you can probably imagine, is Assassin's Apprentice. I'm now on page 261, so I'm getting closer and closer to the end of this. As I'm sure I said last night, I'm finding the second half of this is a lot quicker to read, but I think that's more to do with me rather than the story necessarily picking up anymore. But Fitz has just been given a task, and I'm thinking this potentially could be a big thing that's going to take up a lot of the rest of the book. I'm unsure, because it's one of those that could just be a real quick thing, or it could take quite a lot of time. I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's difficult when it's a plot point. But I am really hoping that I can get this finished today. That would be amazing. I'm not going to rush it and I'm not going to force it though. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'm thinking with the amount that I've actually got left, it's doable. But whether I will actually do it is another thing. So I'm just looking forward to seeing how much progress I make on this. And yeah, it's still absolutely amazing. I'm still really enjoying it and loving being along for the ride. I have been reading more of Assassin's Apprentice, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but I'm about 70% of the way through, and it's currently in a timeout because I've been crying, which is incredibly rare for me. I don't tend to cry at books. I've been trying to think about the last book that I've been close and I've been genuinely upset, but I actually can't remember the last book that I actually physically cried at. And this one has made me cry. And everyone says that the series is really emotional. And if I'm crying at this first book, I don't know how I'm going to manage. I genuinely don't know how I'm going to get through the rest of this series. But also, I need to know what happens. So I've got just over 100 pages left to go, and my plan is now we've done everything that we needed to do. We've been out and got shopping and we've had our tea. So my plan is I'm going to sit here and read this book and probably cry some more. Maybe. I don't even know anymore, but that is the plan. And then, yeah, I'm really going to try and finish this today, and then I will wrap up once I'm done. I'm not sure that I'm going to get much more read on, I don't even remember what it's called, Nocticadia. I was thinking of Anathema, but that is the other book that Kerri writes, but that's Nocticadia. But once I finish this, I will focus more on Nocticadia and get that done. But this is consuming my life, and I understand now why people love this series so much, but also I'm absolutely terrified and I'm not sure that I'm emotionally ready to read the rest of it. So I'm going to leave this here and read more of this and see what happens. Wish me luck. It is 12:25. My eyes are barely awake, but I have finished Assassin's Apprentice. The last 100 pages or so, I just couldn't put it down. I had to finish it, and I need the next book immediately, but I don't even have a copy of it, so I need to get on that. This was my first official 5-star of this year. We're now in July, and this is my first 5-star. So I'm annoyed that it's taken me this long to read it, but I have loved / hated a lot of this. I loved reading it. The writing style was amazing. I hate the fact that it made me so emotional and I cried, which is so rare for me. But I just really enjoyed this. As I said, the writing is so good. It's so descriptive. I actually feel like I'm there. And although, yes, on the surface, not a whole lot is happening, it's just day to day. It's that slow build up, and there's all this, all these political things happening in the background, and it's slowly building, and then it's sort of all comes out in the end, and it's slowly starting to piece together, and you're starting to understand why certain things have happened, which is really good. The magic system is really interesting as well, and it's not even completely fully explained in this, and that's what I like as well. Like, we're learning about the magic system as Fitz is learning about it, so when he thinks he can't do it, we don't understand what it is, and that's quite interesting. And there's been some hints of some potential other, like, different magic and different things, so I'm intrigued to see how that will develop over the trilogy. But yes, I will definitely be looking to continue this series as soon as possible. So I think it is time for me to wrap up this vlog. So not the most in terms of reading. So yes, I have finished Assassin's Apprentice, and then earlier in the week I finished I Know a Place by Cassidy that I'd already started and was basically almost done. I haven't made any more progress on Nocticadia today, but I am on page 99, I think. Yeah, 99, 15% of the way through. So I will be picking this back up now. So yes, it was a little bit of a slower week, but I think I kind of needed that with how busy everything has been recently, and the fact that I have been still reading consistently. I'm glad that even though I have still been reading, I've taken a little bit of a step back and not really worried too much about finishing things, because I didn't want to get myself burnt out. So yeah, I think it's time to leave the vlog here. So thank you so much for watching, and please do like this video if you have enjoyed it, subscribe if you'd like to see more like this in the future, and comment down below and tell me what you've been reading this week, or if you have read any of the books that I have mentioned in this video and what you thought of them.